Please form your party. Come on.
Let's do it!
Stop forcing Sherazard. I mean, Sherazard is proving to be quite useful, but well, actually, it's fine. I don't need Zin in the party. Sherazard's fine.
Your aid, please!
It's fine. Sherazard's pretty good. She can bump it. You know what? We might just put Sherazard in over Zin actually at this point. Okay, it's time we finally got to Bose. You know, like we've been planning for a million years now. It's the only place that hasn't been seen in the experiment, too. Or something. That's true, but from the sounds of it, there isn't anything odd happening in Bose. I think we can take our time for once, and help out here in Roland a bit before heading out. Sounds good. Let's see if there's anything else to do. Head for the landing port when we're done. Anything new that's interesting to me? A recipe. Secret. Oh wow, look at that pay. 7,500. Go to the mine. Ha! You think I'm gonna go to the mine? Y'all crazy. I ain't gonna do any of these quests. Oh yeah, I picked up Haze. Hey. Yeah, that's a good one right there. So that gives me my Earth 2. And also... Yeah, I think we're going to take the Haze over whatever was in there before. Wonder what happens. Can I equip Haze and Scent at the same time? Oh, look at that Saint right there. I wonder what Saint is. Ooh, speaking of, how's my... Dang it, we still don't have enough. Alright, we are going to visit the Orbital shop here. Alright. Quartz. So we can afford another one of those. I think I'm going to take it. Oh, but, I done goofed. Not like the biggest deal in the world, but I done goofed. I should have improved some slots, especially on Olivier. HB2. Give you an HB2. Let's save. Oh, I didn't mark the end of the chapter. We're gonna mark right here and hope that Oh, I did mark it. I did mark it. I'm a silly person. Alright, let's get out of here. Tired of this Sucklefoo town. Tired of this Sucklefoo kid right here too. So, hi Luke, you're all the better and sad and okay. Alright, you're never gonna be a bracer. Sorry to break it to you, kid. Sorry, not sorry. So, heading out already. You just came home. You can't stay away for a little while longer? Nope, we're going. The current job's totally done, and we're going to be going on the way, and then you can just stop talking to me and give me my tickets. How about that? Alright, I'll give the guild house a ring and call the members of your team. Oh, it's hot. It is real hot. Hey, that sword over there looks kind of interesting. You know, you might want to slide that my way. I see. So now we have a gospel influencing people's minds, using the fog's particulate matter as a medium to exert mental control over a large area. Well, that settles one question at least. Excuse me, Professor. Well, Cassius, you old dog, good timing. Escaped Leiston, did you? Yes, I finally managed to finish a bit of work. I thought I would stop by and see how you're holding up. I like this song. What's this? A report from your granddaughter? Yes, just arrived, express from Roland. Thanks to Tito's report, quite certain of my theory now. About the gospel, I'm assuming. Yes, though it's ultimately still a hypothesis at this point. Didn't you just say it was a theory? Hello? I've gone over it again and again, both on paper and with the Capel. Though, so I'm reasonably sure of this. Shall I go over it? Absolutely. Right then. Are you gonna fade to black? So, what we've been calling the Gospel's Orbital Shutdown phenomenon. Tell me what you think it is, based on what you've seen and heard. It's an effect that occurs to any orbital device located near the active Gospel, chaining from one device to another. And it renders these devices inert while a Gospel is active. That's how it seems to me, at least. Half right, half wrong. What you're describing is closer to the orbital art anti-sept. That shorts out the internal quartz circuits of the orbment to temporarily suspend its functionality. The phenomenon generated by a Gospel, however, is fundamentally different. It steals all the orbital energy formed in an orbment down to the very last joule. So it's more of an orbital absorption phenomenon then. Yes, to make a comparison to a combustion engine, it's like siphoning out the petrol. But wait, unless I badly misunderstand physics, that means the Gospel should absorb and store all that power, correct? Good eye, lad. You've noticed a very important fact. So I've measured a Gospel after it absorbs energy, but the Gospel does not actually hold any of it. Not even a single EP's worth. Is it possible the energy is being vented into the wider environment? No, not at all. The energy disappears completely, utterly, and quite impossibly thanks to thermodynamics. Furthermore, these new Gospels Estelle's group has been encountering. Every time they're encountered, they cause unbelievable phenomena that even our best orbital engineering can't explain. It's unclear how they're causing such effects, but I can say one thing with confidence, and that is, they're too small. I can say with absolute certainty that any device enabling such massive effects did not fit into the palm of one's hand. Even if the Society somehow possesses technology centuries ahead of our own, nothing that small could contain that much potential energy. I think I'm starting to see where this is going. You're saying the Gospels must be terminals then, access points of some sort. Exactly. The only function the Gospel unit itself has is an ability to manifest an abnormal warp in a local orbital field. That warp then resonates with any local orbital device, expands and draws energy from the devices. The energy then disappears through the warp. Well, no, it does not disappear. It is sent elsewhere. And whatever is located elsewhere is capable of causing the impossible effects we've seen. You know, I hope I'm misunderstanding this. I'm afraid you get a passing grade here, old friend. The Society is using the Gospels to draw out and spread the power of whatever this thing is. Spreading the influence of a mysterious force. No wonder the Society named them Gospels. In that case, the nature of this thing bothers me. As you said, even if it's an orbment out of our purest fiction, or... as far as that goes, I'm afraid I have no real clue. I've thought of a number of possibilities, but that would be pure speculation at this point. Now, Cassius, I will ask you the same question I asked you 10 years ago. We're in quite the pickle. What do you need me to do? The exact same words as when I asked you to develop the patrol airship. Well, then... The key, I think, must lie in this warp the gospel creates. Russell, can you develop some kind of plan or method of stopping the resonance, the spread? I thought you'd ask that. I'm just about done with my current invention anyway. I'll get to work as soon as I'm done with that. You know what would be a better idea? Is if you try to develop a way to track where the energy's coming from through the gospel. That way we can find out where their base is and go stop them. How about that? How about that? Alright, let's talk to everybody and their mamas. Oh, hi, Estelle. Still walking around. Sorta, yeah. Oh, Tita, this is your first time in Bose, isn't it? Uh-huh. I've heard there's a really big store in Bose. I kind of want to see it. The Bose Market, yeah. Think of it like the department store in Gransel, but even bigger. It's actually a bunch of different stores, all in one space. It's really busy. Wow, that sounds amazing. I hope we arrive in Bose soon. Oh my gosh. That was like really short and sweet. Ah, Estelle, at last we return to Bose. The land laden with memories of our first meeting. Makes my heart swell to return to a place of such sweet nostalgia. Shocking as it may be, I kinda have to agree on the heart-swelling memories bit. Although, as I remember it, you were kind of rude back then. You said I wasn't attractive and made fun of me like a schoolboy. You must understand me, my fair rose. I would only display such cute, bashful behavior in order to hide feelings of love unabated. Yeah, I'll bet that's it exactly. You sure didn't waste any time putting the moves on Shara, as I remember, or Joshua. Well, putting that aside, as you stand now, your beauty is incomparable to what it was then. Yours is a supple, healthy beauty with a maiden's gentle virtue. Indeed, you have grown, Estelle. Oh, thank you. Though, when you put it that way, it's kind of embarrassing. Please don't say it like that again. There is no shame to be had in virtue, Estelle. Still, you have but only begun to climb the ladder of adulthood. Should you wish to ascend even higher, I would be more than happy to assist you. No, thank you. If I was ever in a position to ask anyone about that sort of thing, I'd be 1,000,000 times better off asking Shara. A pity, the things I could teach. Though Shara would be one to... I'll remind you that I have a very large stick. Olivier, yeah, Olivier's, he's such a goof. Hello, Estelle. Hi, Shara. So this is where you went. Oh wait, do you want to be alone for a bit? Oh, this is unlike you, Estelle. Why so reserved? You want to ask about Luciola, right? Yeah. She always says we met a long time ago, but I don't really remember her at all. I was wondering what she's like, and if you could jog my memory. Let's see, where to begin then? We have to begin with her stage name, I suppose. Luciola, the Bewitching Belle. She could show her audience illusions by dancing while using bells and fans, thus bewitching them, you see. Hers was the centerpiece performance of our little circus troupe, the one that really brought the audiences in. Illusions. Does she use an orbment to make them? No, she uses something she always called illusion magic, which is apparently some kind of very old non-orbal art. Luciola was from a family with a tradition of working that art. Was? People who fall in with a traveling circus like ours tend to be one of two kinds. People who had a cause to abandon their previous homes and families, or people who never had such things to begin with. Luciola was the former, and I was the latter. I was about 7 years old when Mr. Harvey and his band took me in. Hey, I was asking about Luciola, I wasn't asking about you. Back then, I was little more than a street urchin living in the slums of a city. Pickpocketing, petty theft. There was little I wouldn't do to try to survive. The ones who reached out a hand to me were the troop's leader, Mr. Harvey and Luciola. They taught me, a little girl who couldn't trust anyone, the warmth of a family. And they taught me all sorts of skills that would let me earn a place for myself in the troop. Dancing, beast handling, tarot reading. Luciola taught me all of it. But then 8 years ago, Mr. Harvey died in an accident. Without his leadership, we all just drifted apart and went our own ways. I'd been planning on staying with Luciola, but soon after Mr. Harvey died, she simply told me there was something I must do and vanished. Hopeless and lost for the first time in years, I turned to the one remaining man in the world whom I still trusted. As you might suspect, that was Cassius, who had already begun working as a bracer. You know the rest, I imagine. Well, that's what happened. I had no idea you'd gone through something like that. The reason I aimed to become a bracer at first was to improve myself. I wanted to be able to live and prosper on my own. Show Luciola just how far I'd come once she returned. But well, it has been 8 years. Perhaps that was enough time to re-examine my reasons. Shara, don't make that face. Like Zin said, I don't intend to simply fight her without saying a word. I want to hear Luciola's story from her before doing anything. I have to know what possible reason could have made her associate with the society. Yeah, that sounds good. I've got your back, Shara. I'll do anything I can to help. I know I can always count on you. Still, you've grown quite a bit, haven't you, Estelle? What? That's kind of sudden. I always thought of you as being exactly what I'd expect of Cassius's daughter. I don't think that's quite right or fair anymore, though. What do you mean? Your strength isn't quite the same as Cassius's. Cassius has a heart as deep as the ocean and strength like a relentless wave. But you, Estelle, your strength is like the sun. You shine and make others shine just by being near them. My Estelle, you shine like the sun. I don't remember who said, was that Joshua? It might have been Joshua. I think that's why people are attracted to you so easily. It's what I like most about you, and I know Joshua felt the same way. I don't think you need to feel any pressure to live up to Cassius, is my point. Yeah, you really are my big sister, Shara. You always know how to encourage me. Thanks. You're very welcome. Not saying you should return the favor, mind, but you really should drink with me sometime. Now that you're a full bracer, you'd better learn to handle your liquor. How was booze related to? You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. Alright, that was nice. To learn a little bit about Shara. Just a little bit. Alright, Agate's hiding down here. Anybody else? Nope. Something wrong, Agate? It's nothing. Still wandering around the ship. Yeah, basically. I'm about earlier. Earlier? What do you mean? You know, when we were put to sleep in Mistwall. Did you see some kind of dream, too? I see, sorry. Do you not want to talk about it? I guess it was about his sister? Nah, it's alright. Yeah, I saw a dream. It was nostalgia as heck. I'll say that much. You too, huh? So... You know, Estelle, you've got to work on your poker face and hiding, you got to work on your poker face and hiding you want to know stuff. That's harder to say than I thought it would be. Ain't good to be that easy to read. Anyway, it was just some silly memories of when I was a kid back home. Sorry about the eagerness, but yeah, I remember. You're from Ravenou, right? In the Bose region. This will be your first time back home in a while, then. It's been a little while, yeah. I did stop by the old place after the Queen's birthday celebration a while back, though. Hey, wait a second. Why are you assuming I'm going back home? Don't be embarrassed, you big teddy bear. You've got a little sister back in Ravenou, right? You mentioned her once. You must be the biggest softy when it comes to her, huh? Hey. Oh yeah. Where the heck in Ravenou is your house, anyway? I don't remember meeting any girl who stood out as Agate's little sister when we were investigating the Sky Bandits. There was a girl with Louis, but no, too young, and I figure your little sister's gotta have your hair. I'll introduce you to Misha soon, assuming we have some reason to visit anyway. Yeah, please do. And in that case, we'll have to bring Tita along too. Why would we have to do that? Tita's kind of attached to you, in case you hadn't noticed. She'd be pretty let down if you didn't introduce her to your sister, you know. Oh, I get it. You don't want Misha and Tita to meet. Now I get it. They might get together and get in lots of trouble like Tita did with Ren, or they might get jealous of each other. Being an older brother must be hard work. That's what you meant. Oh? Well, don't worry. I'll clean up any mess that happens. I've gotten pretty good at Tita herding. Tita herding. So you just go ahead and introduce those two crazy kids, and I'll be sure nothing blows up. Yeah, thanks. I'll be counting on you for that. Alright, dog. So many people. Let's talk to Chloe last. Oh, Estelle, good work this time. You're really growing as a bracer. I'm still kind of a newbie, I think. Like, I'm not even remotely as good with the staff as Dad. Well, I don't think you should worry much about Master Cassius. An S-rank bracer is a master of their profession to a degree that they attain the unity of purpose all martial artists seek, after all. To be honest, I don't think I could attain such enlightenment even if I spent my whole life trying. I see. I gotta admit, kind of hard for me to understand how incredible my dad is, but actually, Zin, you mentioned the whole unity of purpose idea to Chloe back at the castle. What exactly does that mean? Yeah, I did. It's kinda tough to explain, to be honest. Well, here goes. Master Cassius was once such a transcendent master of the sword, he was given the title of Divine Blade. Today, though, he can wield a staff just as easily as a sword he spent his life training with. Why do you think that is? He practiced really hard? That's part of it, sure. But more than that, it is because he could instantly understand and relate the nature of the staff combat to his previous experience. Something beyond what we call skill, above practicing forms and reflexes, above muscle memory. Think of it as a mental state where one can grasp the true nature of all things and control them at will. That whole concept is what we refer to as unity of purpose. The true nature of all things, huh? His plan to push back the Imperial Army during your war was the same, I'd bet. We understood the nature of war, of combat, so intrinsically, so instinctively, that he was able to construct the plan he did. There would be no one more fearsome as a foe. I get it, I think. But that means that even my supposedly enlightened dad was beaten in some ways by the society. During the coup, he was lured out of the country for starters. Yeah, they almost certainly possess someone equal to Master Cassius. It's hard to know if it's whoever Loe is or this professor, though. Could it be the guy we know as Lawrence? He was pretty powerful. I don't know. He is incredibly skilled, sure, but I doubt he could match up to Master Cassius. Besides, his chi, his soul, they did not have unity of purpose, not in the way I have spoken of. He is a blade, sharpened in one specific way by the coldest frost, tempered to perfection, untouched by anyone. That is the sense I got off him in the arena, at least. Yeah, I get what you mean. He hasn't shown himself, but I figure he's got to be up to something. He did seem to have some kind of fixation on Joshua. I wouldn't be surprised if they know each other, from Joshua's days in the society. Between him, me, and Sherazard, We've all got some strange ties in our past to this group. I wonder if this is the guidance of she who dwells above. Estelle out for a walk again, more or less. More importantly, I'm sorry. I didn't really open up about Joshua until the very end. Don't worry. Still, that girl with Joshua is one of the Sky Bandits, isn't she? Yeah, she's a cheeky, insulting little punk by the name of Josette Capua. She's also the single biggest tomboy I've ever laid eyes on, and people call me a tomboy sometimes. I see. She does seem a bit charming from the photograph. She can be pretty cute if she keeps her mouth shut. And she did manage to play a perfect upper crust girl when we first met her, too. I'm sorry? Playing the first time we met Josette at the residence, huh? I see. That is impressively dexterous, if I may say so. Well, it does make sense, since she's apparently former Erebonian nobility. Putting on a face like that is her specialty, I think. Peel away the layers, though, and like I said, at the core, she's a cheeky, classless little punk. Still, from what I've heard, I can't really find cause to hate her. I suspect that if we found a chance to talk, we might have quite a lot in common. Yeah, I can see that happening. We slide off each other like oil and water. Our personalities wouldn't fit together, trust me. Maybe. Alrighty. I'm gonna save right here. I'm gonna take a quick, 30-second to a minute break. 1 moment.